The Guest is one that flew way under the radar last year. If you haven't seen The Guest, you definitely need to check this out. The Guest stars Dan Stevens and Micah Monroe, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Adam Wingard is the director. He also directed You're Next, which was a surprise. I don't think it did that well at the box office, but I think it's kind of become a little bit of a cult classic because it's gaining some strength in the slasher genre. But this was one of my favorite movies of last year. I'm a big horror fan, as you can see, Halloween. So Your Next is definitely one to check out if you haven't checked out. Adam Wingard is definitely on my radar right now as far as directors go because he did The Guest. And it's basically about this family and their son was at war and I guess he was killed in action. And so they're in a grieving period and then all of a sudden this guy shows up at their doorstep. And it's Dan Stevens, and he seems, he says he's there to take care of them, pretty much. He becomes pretty much Dad 2.0, and, but you feel like there's something off about this guy, like everything's like too perfect, and so you know something's definitely rotten in Denmark. So, without getting too far into the plot, because there are some twists and turns in this plot, I will say this movie flies right by. One thing I really liked about The Guest was the musical score. I'm always a sucker for good musical scores. John Carpenter, I'm a huge fan of his, and it seems like a lot of these newer horror directors today are taking cues from his musical work, and The Guest is no different. But it definitely works. And there's also some like 80s synth in there. I'm a huge 80s horror fan, so when they try to incorporate 80s themes into horror movies today, it usually turns out pretty good. Also, if you are a fan of 80s horror, make sure you keep your eyes open because there is some little winks to Halloween 3 in particular in the background near the end of the movie. And you can also spot the, I believe the fox mask from this movie, You're Next. So, as far as a rating goes for The Guest, I would definitely give it a purchase worthy. I actually bought it on Vudu, and you can get it on Vudu for I believe $14.99, and I believe you can rent it now. But yeah, definitely check out The Guest, and thanks for watching.